Hi, my name is Brenda Dempsey. I'm the camp director here at the Raritan Valley YMCA. I've been with the Raritan Valley YMCA for 15 years. I started out here as a aide. My son went to preschool here. For 5 years, I was the assistant camp director. For the past 2 years, I took over as camp director.
So hello, I'm Mr. Dan, the Training Development and Program Specialist. And hello, I am Gustavo Emerson IV. I am the paper bag specialist of the Raritan Valley YMCA. How are you today?
I've been involved with this camp now since 2006, when I was only 16 years old. I walked to the newly opened building and I asked them for a application. They handed me one. I filled it out on what was then, they weren't finished with the parking lot construction, so I was sitting on a little wooden ramp and filling it out right there. And then I handed it back to them.
I'm Brian Rose. I'm involved in a lot of things here at the Y. For now, I'll boil it down to that I am involved in swimming, and I'm also the producer of this video.
It's a ridiculous, fun, incredibly positive experience.
Activities from the moment they get here to the moment they leave. Kids will always go home dirty, which is always a great thing.
It's really fun time. I mean, for anybody who's coming off the street, I'd say, your kid's going to have the time of their lives, and you're going to come home covered in mud.
Kids make friends every day. It's really a nice place.
Gustavo Emerson IV. Oh my gosh. Every morning, we start with what's called opening ceremony, which is a lovely time where the kids all sing songs and they have a wonderful start to their day. After that, they go to their activities.
We have a block schedule. They will have set periods. It's like 45 minutes of each activity. So they'll have 45 minutes of an arts and crafts with an arts and crafts director. We have 45 minutes of nature. They'll do a sport activity. We have swimming. Half of the time is instructional. The other half is rec swimming.
We have a nice big field where they can play soccer or handball or kickball or soccer or handball or kickball. All my favorites. We also have a volleyball court.
I don't know if you want to do a walkthrough with me talking about our camp locations and not Gustavo.
This silliness might work for the promotional material.
Outside alone, we have about 5 activity areas between, well, actually, I would say 6 if you count the pool. We'd have the pool, we have a volleyball court, we have the woods section, which kids love to build forts or they learn nature lessons. We have an area we play hockey and foursquare and outside.
We have a playground for the younger kids that they use.
We also have the Gaga court. By and large, the kids' favorite one is everybody loves Gaga.
Gaga is a huge, popular activity here at camp.
Which is a ridiculous game played in a octagonal court filled with sand, where all the kids are doing is they're hitting the ball around with their hands and hoping to not have the ball tap their legs. But it sounds like a very simple game, but the kids get into it. Now, inside, we have a basketball court in our mini gym, which, trust me, a lot of kids will enjoy playing basketball over the summer because that's air-conditioned. And then we have the aerobics room, which is open for access to our campers during the course of the day, whenever there's no classes being run. We have the arts and crafts room, where the kids will do various arts and crafts projects. We have our art director, Monica, this summer, and we're really excited for some of the projects she's going to bring. For our older kids, we're actually going to be doing some fitness stuff with them in our gym. So, in our wellness center, I should say. So, your kids are going to be getting a good workout, too.
I have 4 groups that are going to be swimming here, the pool that we have at the Y, and then 4 groups will be going to Crystal Springs.
How do the swim lessons work in general? I guess I've probably seen more of the swim lessons
Thank
than
you.
have, but
I think you can answer that better than I could, Brian. Thank you.
all I'll say about swim lessons is to keep in mind that as a YMCA, swim lessons is one of the things we do. So we have professional swim instructors. So when the kids take swim lessons, it's not a situation of we just put them in the pool and grab any counselor at random and say, hey, you teach the kids to swim. They're being taught to swim by these swim instructors. It's the same people who would be teaching them to swim if they had signed up for the swim lessons separately that we offer, not related to camp or anything. So the swim lessons they're getting as camp swim lessons are not really camp swim lessons. They are YMCA swim lessons.
Then at the end of the day, we have a closing ceremony. At closing ceremony, we sing more songs, and we recognize the kids who are the stars of the day.
Which is a very special recognition of what somebody special in each group did, the star of the group.
Traditional camp starts at 9 o'clock and ends at 4:30. But they can drop off as early as 7 and pick up as late as 6:30, and that's at no additional cost to the parents.
Drop your kid off as early as 7. There'll be games here. There'll be staff here ready to start playing games with the kids. So our extended care is until 6:30 at night. So you have plenty of time to be able to make your way home and get your kids.
My counselors are great. My counselors are over the age of 18. I think I have 1 or 2 this year that are just 17. I have a lot of returning staff from last year, which is always great. My staff has to be fully trained. They go through background checks. They go through fingerprinting. We have a bunch of trainings that they have to do before camp even begins. They sign off on all the trainings. We do anything from child abuse prevention, bloodborne, you name it, bullying, diversity, we do it. What I expect from my my staff, that's also an orientation, a training that I put together, which I think is very important. I tell my staff all the time, you do exactly what you have to do. You make sure my kids are always safe at all times, and we will have no problems here at camp. I planned a lot of fun trips this year. We are going anywhere from Jenkinson's Aquarium, which is really a popular trip. Roller Magic, the kids love to roller skate. Bowling we're doing this year. We're going to Fun Time America. We are going to Blackbeard's Cave, which was very popular last year. Even the older kids love that trip. It's like a little arcade, but it's all outdoors, and it's really a great trip for these kids. We are going to the Bronx Zoo. That's my only trip this year that's on a Wednesday. They love it. The kids have a ball.
Week 4, we head on over to Cheesequake Park, which is honestly my favorite trip. And I'm going to say every trip's my favorite, but this is my favorite because that's probably the campiest trip we go to. Lots of hiking. We get to go swimming in the lake. We get to go crabbing. It's absolutely wonderful.
How many staff is in a group, especially with the younger kids? Obviously, I will have 2 to 3 staffs, especially for the younger groups. I will have my volunteers. I put my CITs with the younger groups. I definitely welcome parents if they want to volunteer. That's great, but they also have to go through a background check like I would do with a regular staff member.
So yeah, you can come down, register. When you register a kid, you can register them for camp for each individual week. So you can pay for the week separately. You can sign up for any set of weeks you want. If you want them to come for just the first week and then just the last week, you can do that. If you want them to come for just week 5 and week 6, you can do that too. If you want them here every week, also an option. So it's a very flexible thing.
A lot of my parents like that fact that, they can pick and choose weeks. And to be honest, I tell my new parents, pick a week or 2, try it out. That's how confident I am that they're going to love the program and they're going to love the counselors here. Try it out for a week or 2. See how your kid loves it, and then you'll come back for the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and so on and so forth. And that's pretty much it. And I have returning campers that have been here since they're 5 years old, and they still come, and they sign up for 10 weeks, no matter what.
How much is it for 1 week?
$275. Specialty camps are a little bit more. We run 10 weeks to August, I'm going to say 29th. And we're the longest
28th, actually.
Thank you. We are the longest running camp, so.
Somewhere towards the end, it does come up the fact that this camp is a little bit cheaper than other camps, but I also think it's impressive that, nobody ever leads with that. Nobody ever says that that's, a main feature of, basically that everybody who's here is here because of the quality of the experience that you get.
Well, yeah, I mean, we are a very cheap camp where, you compare us to any of the local camps, we're cheaper by a long shot. But camp isn't about the money in the first place. You're right. Camp is about the experience. And, from any camp person's, the way that our thought process works is that we don't really think of it from the business end. We think of it from the service end. We think of it from how we're working with these kids and we're having fun with these kids. And it's an incredibly rewarding experience for almost everybody involved. And, the reason that you ask a camp person about it or you ask me about it and I don't immediately go to, well, we're the cheapest camp is because just the sheer value of the experience transcends that. So specialty camps, the way specialty camps work is they're obviously an additional camp that your kids sign up for. It has to be done in the registration process when you're signing your kids up.
Specialty camps are camps within the camp. They run from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. The only one that's a full day is soccer camp.
Our Challenger Soccer Camp is actually a specially run camp by the people over at Challenger Soccer. We have the people from across the pond come all the way over here to run that camp with us, and that's a full day camp.
We have a cooking specialty camp, which is also very popular. This year we did a little different. We have the one specialty camp for the younger, one for the older. This year we also added archery camp and superhero camp for the younger kids. That's brand new to our program this year. Oh, I do want to mention, though, Color War. Oh, my goodness, how can I forget about Color War? Color War is the biggest event of camp. We break our camp into 2 groups, and we have activities from Monday through Friday, and the kids have a ball. And at the end of Color War, we bring a carnival to the camp, and we open that to families, siblings, whatever. Anybody is welcome.
Well, Color War is a very, very serious event. So what we do for Color War is the entire camp, counselors, kids, even the front desk staff, we put them in teams. Our camp colors, for anybody who doesn't know, are orange and blue. So we have an orange team and a blue team. And over the course of the entire week, they're in activities competing against each other. They're doing all sorts of things. They're creating songs. They're working on their dances. They're playing sports. We have the big relay at the end of it, which is a huge, 1.5 hour long relay race that usually ends in the counselor pie eating contest, which is always a very interesting thing to watch. But the kids, by that point, the kids are always all done with that, and they go bonkers over the end of that race and over Color War in general. For all of my former campers who know me, I sincerely hope that I get to see you again this summer because it's absolutely the highlight of my year to see you all again.
So please come and join us.
See you in the summer, guys.
Bye-bye.